We must go now.
Papa!
Tiago, go with your mother to the trap. Take this. It will always be your guide.
Yes, Papa.
We will join you shortly.
Xavier, the painting.
La maledicción. This way.
Senora, it is too late. Go!
No! Papa!
Senor, in here.
Search them. Of course. Paris in the spring. Passion, romance, l'amour. I was working in art insurance. It paid the rent, just about. And then, by chance, I met Nico at a private view.
You didn't tell me that you were back in Paris, George?
We should catch up. Let's have lunch.
Nobody move!
Non, monsieur, not la malédiction. Oh.
Stay back.
Once again, Paris had shown me her dark side. A brutal robbery, a senseless murder. Nico and I were about to be drawn into a new and terrifying adventure together. The gallery owner was dead. I guess sometimes playing the hero doesn't pay. My company had insured the exhibition, so I had a crime to solve. The cops would be here soon. I didn't have much time. Excuse me, Father.
Yes, my son.
I'm George Stobart. My company insured the exhibition.
My name is Simeon.
Is there anything I can do?
You can pray for his soul.
A senseless murder.
On the contrary, this killing makes plenty of sense.
What do you mean?
A great evil has taken place. This is the work of the devil.
What?
I am a Dominican priest. I know these things. And now, excuse me, I must pray.
1 minute I'd been planning dinner with Nico. The next I was talking art theft, murder, and the devil with a priest. He definitely looked better. Poor guy. In Henri's pocket was a tiny bottle. It was a bottle of... There was a small piece of paper in the dead man's hand. It was too intriguing not to take a look. It read, 2:30 p.m., be ready. Innocent enough, until I realized that the robbery took place at 2:30 p.m. There was something fishy going on around here, and it wasn't just the canapes. I quickly replaced the note. Here today, gone tomorrow. A cryptic note in a bottle of overpowering cologne. No personal effects or anything else of substance. I needed to find where he kept his records. This was where the stolen painting had hung. Why that painting? And why kill for it? The stolen painting had an alarm, which should have sounded when the painting was removed. I needed to find out why it hadn't. It was the speaker cone for the alarm. It hadn't sounded when the painting was stolen. Looked fine to me. That wasn't the reason the alarm didn't go off. So that was why the alarm hadn't sounded. A wire had been cut by someone who knew exactly what they were doing. This was an inside job. Someone had cut a the button, the pressure pad, but the cut wire had ensured that the alarm. The door was locked with a keypad. The wires from the camera ran into the room behind. It must have captured the whole robbery. If I could get the code to the keypad, I might be able to shed some light on the crime. The cable for the camera ran into the room marked private. The thief left the pizza box behind. I wondered what was in it. Well, no surprise there. Pizza. The guy must have been hungry. There was only one slice left. It was Hector Lane, France's greatest art critic. We'd met before. It hadn't ended well. For a moment, I thought he was dead, but from the snoring, I guessed he'd only fainted. Lane was out. I was going to need... In the pocket was a pair of nail clippers. They were even unconscious. Time to awaken the beast. What?
What was that? It smells like the 70s. Where am I?
You fainted. Welcome back to the land of the living.
I wouldn't exactly call this living. Don't just stand there. Get me something to eat. I've had a terrible shock, you know.
I found a slice of pizza.
I asked for food, boy, not a cardboard simulacrum.
Oh, okay, if you don't want it.
I didn't say that. Now give it here. Given the circumstances, that was surprisingly acceptable. Now what's been going on? Oh, Henri, is he
Dead? Afraid so.
poor chap? Just like him to steal the limelight, though.
Excuse me.
Do I know you?
Yes, our paths have crossed in the Glees Gallery.
Of course, the man with the absinthe. I don't suppose you...
Afraid not.
Pity. I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble remembering your name.
I'm George Stobart. I insured the exhibition.
I hope you have deep pockets then, my boy.
Could I ask you a few questions, Mr. Lane?
Fire away.
Did you know the gallery owner?
Of course, we worked together on the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Henri provided the space. I was the creative powerhouse.
How long had you known him?
As a friend, many years. Our professional relationship had only recently blossomed into this exhibition, under my curatorial wing. And now the poor fellow has gone and got himself killed.
If Lane was involved with the gallery, then he had to know the code to that door. So, you help run this place? Maybe you can give me the code to that door.
The code to the office?
I just thought you might have the number.
I do, but I couldn't possibly give you access before the police arrive.
I figured I wasn't going to get the door code from Lane by playing nice. I needed to turn the heat up. Mr. Lane, you're really going to have to give me the code to that door.
And why, pray, should I do that?
Because the way the cops will see it, you're the prime suspect. We both know you're innocent, Mr. Lane, but the cops, well, they may not see things so simply. I might be able to get them off your case, but in exchange, I'd like the code for the office door.
But that's preposterous. The police would have neither evidence nor motive.
Funny you should mention that. Someone sabotaged the alarm on the stolen painting. A wire was cut.
What? Who could have got into the alarm system?
Exactly. It was an inside job, Mr. Lane.
You're not suggesting that I...
Well, I'm afraid that's the way the cops are going to see it.
That's preposterous. How could I possibly have cut the wire?
Are these your nail clippers, Mr. Lane?
Yes, they have my initials monogrammed on them.
Huh. The perfect implement for cutting the alarm on the stolen painting.
What are you saying?
Well, the alarm was sabotage, Mr. Lane. It was an inside job.
Are you accusing me? How dare you? I had no reason to kill Henri, no motive whatsoever.
Okay, but I don't think the cops will see it like that. And I sure would like that door code. This is an inside job for sure, Mr. Lane. The police are going to be very interested in your recent movements.
I've been out of town for several days, and last night I retired early.
Just saying.
You're not going to scare me into giving you that door code, you know.
I was onto something here, and I knew it. Lane was sweating. It wasn't pretty. How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
So you'd been out of town and hit the sack early last night?
That's right. I've not been near the gallery for days.
An unusual paint.
And your point is...
The cops are going to ask some awkward questions, but you give me the code, and I'll do my best to...
I cannot let you into that room, Mr. Stowe. Besides, Henri found La Malédiction, not me.
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane, but you're going to be the #1...
So you keep...
Guilty by way of...
sheer fantasy.
How about some more of this?
I don't think so.
Father?
Yes, my...
I think there's something strange going on here.
Yes, Mr. Stobart. At last you see the truth.
No, Father. I mean that the robbery looks like an inside job.
The devil's work is always an inside job.
What did you mean when you said that a great evil had taken place?
Your adversary, the devil, has a roaring lion.
What?
Peter 5:8. The devil...
Did Henri...
He said, stop the car, I want... We may...
What brought you to the...
The paint.
Which...
La Malédiction.
The painting that...
I had to confront...
A wire in the painting's...
Cut by...
Well, as far as...
You mock me.
Do you know the code to get into the...
No, but you could always pray and I...
With respect, Father, what do you know about...
El Serp. He was a man.
Tell me about the story.
Whoever gets close to it will...
The clippers were the perfect size to cut the wire. Could Lane be the saboteur? I had to find out. Nico wasn't answering her. Hello, Mr. Rickenbacker?
Stobart, what do you want?
Mr. Rickenbacker, there's been a problem.
Why does that surprise me? This better not involve the Blue Lizard.
Afraid it does, sir. There's been a robbery.
Oh, terrific.
Only one painting was stolen, though.
Well, what are you wasting time talking to me for? Find that painting, or find a way to avoid paying out. Two ways to keep your job, Stobart.
I see. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Anything else you gotta tell me?
The thief had a gun. He shot the gallery owner dead.
We insured him too?
No, sir.
Well, that's one piece of good news. At least tell me you got some leads.
I'm pretty sure the security was sabotaged. The alarm was disabled for that one painting.
So, it was an inside job. Who else is at the gallery?
There's a guy called Hector Lane.
Lane. Why does that name sound familiar?
He's an art critic. I think he's connected to the exhibition.
Now, could it be him?
Well, he's rude and ugly. It's certainly possible.
So squeeze him, Stobart. Squeeze him till he squeals.
If I was going to squeeze Lane, I needed longer arms than these.
Find out who disabled the security system, then find that painting. And don't call back until you have.
How about it, Mr. Lane? Ready to give me the door code yet?
Certainly not. Give me a single reason why I should.
Guilty by way of nail clippers.
I've been away from Paris for several days and only got back this morning. How could I have cut that wire?
So, you'd been out of town?
That's right.
Mr. Lane, this robbery...
As I said.
I hate to say this, Mr. Lane.
So...
Guilty by...
sheer...
The street was quiet and upmarket. Not the kind of place for an opportunist thief.
Sensors detect incoming audio source.
Excuse me.
Monsieur?
There's just...
Oh,
You don't...
all property is theft, monsieur. And all art is property. Therefore, all art is theft. Do you not agree?
Did you see anybody...
There was a beautiful woman with a camera.
Oh, that must have been...
You know her?
Can you tell me anything...
I assume, monsieur, that like all of us, he is inherently...
No wonder this guy's cat... The gallery...
Life has no meaning the moment you lose.
Right.
Can we ever truly know another human? He spent little time at the cafe.
What do you know about Hector Lane?
Lane? Oh yes. He drinks here sometimes. He slid away last night without paying.
Last night? What sort of time?
After midnight for sure. If you see him, give him this bill. And tell him to pay up next time.
The check was from last night. But Lane told me this could be the leverage... What do you know about...
It's bourgeois, vacuum. Just like its curator Lane.
Thank you for your
Perhaps...
Take a look at this.
What of it?
It's your bill from the cafe next door.
So?
It's dated yesterday. Last night, in fact. 12:30 to be exact. You said you were out of town. You sure drank a lot of champagne last night without paying the bill. But you told me that you were away from Paris last night. I hate to say it, but that sounds like a lie to me. Tell you what, you give me the code to the door, and the police need never know. A motive and proof of involvement. Not looking good, Mr. Lane.
You are a blackmailer, Stobart.
Just doing my job.
All right. You have me. The number is 6397. But I admit to none of these spurious accusations.
I had the code. The police would be here any... What was that number again? 642... No.
Everyone, hold it right there.
Damn it.
I am Inspector Navet of the Paris Serious Crime Squad, and I hereby declare this crime scene open. Closed. Now, nobody move, especially you on the floor. Mo, I want a total lockdown. Nobody in or out. Apart from me, of course.
I needed to get back into the gallery, but a familiar figure was guarding the door. It was Sergeant Mou. Our paths had crossed before.
Help me, Nico Collard. You're my only hope.
Monsieur,
Life is fleeting, madame. The sands of time are running through.
well,
We know not what we want, and
there's been a crime.
that is terrible, madame.
No, but I think you're going to...
Life begins on the other side. C'est vrai.
Well, he was pushed...
During the riots, we battled the...
Oh, really? That must have been terrifying.
It was. Except that they made me stay behind the... We made coffee by the liter to fuel the resistance. I've never brewed so much coffee. Of course, our brave heroes spent half their time going for a pee. But with our coffee inside them, they fought the running dogs all night long.
None of this was helping me get past Sergeant.
Au revoir. Madame,
Bonjour.
whatever.
Then why are you standing here?
You would not understand, madame.
Try me.
Because I look at you, and I know you are like all the others.
The others?
The pretty women who shop, who gossip, who have their spa days, their
That bad, huh?
and the men with their grooming products and their shot lattes.
I see your point.
Is this what we fought on the barricades for, madame? Ripped up the paving slabs.
Isn't it?
No, madame, it is not. We fought for our
Vive l'art.
And do you know what drove us on as we fought? What fueled the streets of Paris in that glorious spring?
Cheap wine and free sex?
No, madame, no! It was French Café Noir that inspired us. The simple demi-tasse. The...
So that's why you close.
Yes, madame. I serve only... And you, madame, with your polite top and your pointy heels, are none of those things.
This is a cafe.
Yes, to the right people.
On any other day, I would have given this guy a straight one to the chin. But there was a chance he could help me get into the gallery. Here's my press card.
La liberté. Madame, you are not the person that I took you to be. You must accept my deepest, my most profound apologies.
Well, of course I accept. But why?
La Liberté, the great journal of freedom. At the height of the battle, as the tear gas blew and the blood flowed, it was La Liberté which carried the voice of our revolution to the world. I know now that you are not the kind of woman who would ask me for almond croissant. You are a true daughter of France, and I am your humble servant.
Monsieur.
The road to enlightenment.
Could we have...
Any...
How about some...
For you, madame, of... There is only one coffee that I can serve you. Black, strong, and in a tannic. One moment. Here is your coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. The coffee was hot. Did you see any? That's true. He stole...
How close? I applaud.
As a joke. Sergeant Moo.
Ah.
I was...
I am nobody in. And it is no longer just a theft.
Mon Dieu. Who is Inspector Nave?
The most... a genius.
He sounds highly...
Madame. He is a...
So...
blood spatter. He is...
I witness...
I am implacable.
I check...
Inspector Nave.
You've got to let...
Absolutely.
So, I cannot go in?
No.
And to get Inspector Nave's permission...
Exactement.
Have you ever heard of Kafka, Sergeant Moo?
Madame Collard, I do not see what's...
No, he's a... I really need to...
Tut tut. He is applying any moment now. I certainly hope...
This was... Why are you so tired, Sergeant Moo?
I have been working for 3 days with no rest. Nave is a genius in his field, and he assumes that we all have his energy and vigor.
Oh, you poor man. If you'd like to go and get some sleep, I will watch the door for you.
That's very thoughtful of you. Ha! A cunning attempt to make me a deserter, madame. A gendarme never leaves his post.
Well, how about a hot drink?
Ah, that would do the trick for sure. Unfortunately, I mustn't drink on duty. My doctor specifically warned me against it after the last... incident.
That incident you mentioned, what happened exactly?
I don't want to talk about it. All I can say is it was very unfortunate. I am on duty, and I need to focus.
Sergeant Moo could do with one of the... Thanks a lot, Sergeant. Monsieur.
Madame.
Could we have a little...
Any...
Could you make me a coffee to go?
For a fellow revolutionary? Of course, madame. One moment. Here's your takeaway coffee, madame.
Thank you, monsieur. How about some coffee?
Well, you already had a cup. I do not advise.
Sergeant Moo, I brought you a coffee.
Coffee? Fantastic. Just what I need. But wait. I must not. My little problem.
I'm sure one little cup of coffee won't hurt.
I'm tempted, madame, but I cannot risk it. I am sorry.
So, this incident, it involved you, some coffee, and your... little problem?
It is a tale of woe, madame.
I'm all ears, Sergeant.
Well, since you seem quite understanding, I shall elaborate.
Please do.
I was in charge of canine security for the president himself. One day, en vacances, he went for a private discussion with a lady minister. I stayed alone with his dog, but I had drunk a coffee to stay awake, and nature came to call. So I tied the dog to a tree and went for a secret pee-pee. When I came back, the dog was having a liaison dangereuse with the lady minister's terrier.
But how did they find out?
Well, 2 months later, the president's Labrador gave birth to 6 beautiful mongrels. And I was busted to sergeant just after the president's divorce came through.
You are a victim of a great injustice, Sergeant.
You think so?
But of course. You knew you must not fall asleep at your post. You were guarding the president himself.
Well, the president's dog.
Ah, it was the same thing.
Yes, I suppose.
And by drinking that coffee, you made the ultimate sacrifice for our glorious republic, your career.
Now you put it like that?
And now France is calling you again. She is saying, drink, Sergeant Moo, drink!
She is?
She is. Drink or fall asleep at your post. Which is it to be?
I suppose it is drink?
Bravo, Sergeant!
Oh dear. Oh dear. Excuse me, madame. I must use the petit gendarme's room. It has gone straight through me. Could you watch the gallery door for me?
Oh, you can count on me, Sergeant. I distracted Moo. It was now or never.
How did you get past Sergeant Moo? Well, you won't fool me so easily, madame. I shall question you later.
Nico, am I glad to see you. I tried to phone you but couldn't get an answer.
I managed to grab a couple of photos, but the guy got away.
Poor Henri is dead.
I know. Why kill him?
I've been trying to find out. Turns out the alarm was tampered with. It looks to me like an inside job.
So, no ordinary robbery?
And no ordinary painting. The priest claims that La Maledizio is evil. I need to get into the office and see what the CCTV has to offer.
So, what's the problem?
The inspector's watching me like a hawk. I'll never get in without some sort of distraction.
I'll see what I can do. The tomato sauce had splattered on the floor. No way was I going to clean that up. That wasn't worth trying. I scraped up the chewing gum with my press card, hoping the inspector wouldn't notice. How about that for a distraction? I wondered whether it would be enough. The tomato sauce looked as close to blood as it was ever. Inspector Navet, do you have a moment?
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
Indeed. How very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in it. Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, Georges, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office. I was sure the inspector hadn't seen me slip away, but I needed to be quick, because it wouldn't take him long. The statue was up close and personal. I could see the... Thankfully, there was no one around to... Very... I wasn't going to open the safe without the key. I was fairly sure that even Henri wouldn't be silly enough to keep it hidden in the office. The street was quiet. Henri had a model of a... The engine capacity was displayed on the back. Oh, man. The priest was right. Evil was abroad. The poster advertised a 19... headlined by a group called... The CCTV system was ancient. It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view the recording. I needed to find a Ford... And there I was, thinking that Henri might have set such an obvious code. No such luck. No. I needed to find a 4-digit number. I didn't want to carry the tape around. I had a feeling... There was nothing else. The folder looked interesting. This was very definite. It was a completion of work notice from a company called Vera. They weren't the guys we'd reckon. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security. I'd never heard of Vera Security. The telephone was an The calendar looked like a child. Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Poor guy hadn't quite made it to his big day. It was a pretty flat... The sofa had clearly taken some punch. It was a battered... Henri's notice board was covered. A 1600cc Type 2 VWK. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. A pair of evil eyes. It was a hookah pipe. Henri sure liked his clutter. A pair of evil eyes stared. I didn't imagine Henri. Henri sure had his... The frame the trinkets, the junk. I had no reason to... It was hard to tell if Henri may have been a hippie. The poster advertised a night. The completion note from Vera. There was... a naked lady. Henri may have been a hip. The woman in the picture looked vaguely familiar. It looked like Henri. I had no reason. It didn't look like... It didn't look like the... Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday. Bingo. I rewound the tape to before the robbery. This was the first interesting frame. It was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen. Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction. Funny, the painting didn't strike me as remarkable at the time. A good view, there was a certain presence about it. The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The moment it all went horribly wrong. This frame caught the moment the image was a little... I thought about what the priest said. There was definitely something unsettling about the picture. The CCTV had... He knew exactly what... Poor Henri. The most striking aspect of... There was some right... Why hadn't Henri backed down? If that was me... The killer making his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motor. That could be... The painting was gone. There I was, taking a look at the alarm box. I hadn't thought about that when I was That was the I'd probably learned everything I could from the CCTV. That was the most recent image. I knew it'd be wrong to leave the room without checking. It was a strategically placed figure. I had what I needed. The frame. It was a... The street was quiet.
Hello, Vera Security?
George Stobart here, Paris Mutual.
Never heard of you.
Really? Well, I'm surprised. We're leaders in our field in commercial insurance, and our brand recognition is...
Do me a favor. Don't call back.
The lady hung up. I was going to have to visit in person. It would have been stupid to phone Nico from in there. Besides, it didn't look... I didn't want to go back into the gallery just yet. I had no reason. Oh man. It was a statue. It was a battered sofa. Nope. Mr. Rickenbacker? I found a piece of paper that shows Henri went against my recommendations for security.
And?
I guess I'm just wondering why.
Well, you're on the case, Stobart. Just find out where that painting's gone.
I didn't want to go back. A pair of evil eyes stared from a partially covered poster. In the trash can, I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card. It listed extravagant purchases from a variety of ladies' fashion. The address indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
I'm just looking for the name of the caterer. That cheese was to die for.
Ah, to die for? To kill for. I put it to you, Monsieur. Monsieur
Stobart. George Stobart.
I put it to you that you came here in search of cheese and killed the...
Well, no. I'm from Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really?
Yes. Truth will out.
Who dares wins, Monsieur.
He who laughs last, laughs last. The guy was serious.
May I remind you, Monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed?
Of course, but I do...
D'accord. But remember, anything you...
Okay. Do you know anything about a...
No, I have never heard of them. No.
It's very likely that the security...
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you... Monsieur, you are...
Yeah, Gal...
Of course. I think perhaps you are rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies.
Interesting idea, Inspector, but...
Indeed. Well, you may go now.
I had some valuable leads. But before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico, you want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go. I shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Lane will stay behind to help secure the premises. Mo?
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out.
Right away, sir.
Two coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it. You know, this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words Waterloo Motors written across it.
Interesting. I think I got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find. Like I said, I think it...
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but unjust...
Let me guess.
Exactly. The security firm that Henri used was not the one I recommended.
Well, that's understandable. I've been to restaurants that you recommended.
I've got their address. Maybe they can tell me who could have had access to that alarm. Well, the priest thinks...
George,
Yeah, you're probably right.
good luck with your... Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And George?
Yeah?
It's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico. I watched her walk away. The sound of traffic, the sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life.